One summer's morning, a little tailor was sitting at his workbench by his window, cheerfully sewing. His tummy began rumbling, so he took some bread out of his cupboard and spread a slice thickly with jam. "I'll just finish sewing that jacket before I take a bite," he said to himself. So he left the bread on a plate nearby while he sewed a few more stitches. The sweet smell of the jam brought some flies buzzing in. Cried the tailor, waving his hand at them. "Go away," but the flies wouldn't give up and kept zooming around the jam. The tailor grew annoyed and took off his shoe. He brought it down on the table hard, and when he lifted it there were 7 dead flies underneath. 7. "Look at that. I have killed 7 creatures with one blow," the tailor said to himself, admiring his own skill. He set the jacket to one side and quickly ran himself up a belt with the words embroidered on it, "7 at one blow." "When I wear this, everyone will read what I have done." He talked with glee, and he looked up his little house and set off to spread the word of his brave deed around the world. The tailor wandered down a road, always following his own pointed nose. After some time, he arrived at the courtyard of a royal palace. He felt weary, so he lay down on the grass and fell asleep. Some people walked by while he was dozing peacefully. One of them noticed the tailor's belt and read it aloud. 7 at one blow. "Ah," he said to his companions, "he must be a mighty warrior." And they all hurried off to tell the king. The king was delighted and ordered the tailor to be brought before him at once, for he had an important task to give him. "In a forest over the hill there are 2 giants who are terrorizing my people," the king told the tailor. "Every day the giants go out robbing and murdering people and burning down their houses. If you can get rid of these 2 giants for me, I will give you my daughter's hand in marriage and half of my kingdom." "That would be a fine thing for a man like me," thought the little tailor. "Great," he said boldly, "I will do that for you, no problem." So the tailor set out and soon came to the forest of which the king had spoken. There were the 2 giants sleeping under a tree, snoring so that the branches waved up and down. The little tailor quickly and cutely gathered 2 pockets full of stones. Then he nimbly climbed the tree. He perched on a branch just above the sleeping giants and then threw down a stone onto the chest of one. Immediately the giant woke up and gave his friends a shove. "Hey, why are you hitting me?" he yelled. "You must be dreaming. I haven't touched you," the other giant replied. The pair settled back down to sleep, but as soon as the snoring had begun once more, the tailor threw a stone down onto the chest of the second giant. "Why are you throwing things at me?" the second giant roared, sitting up and pushing his friend awake. "You must have gone mad," shouted the first giant. "I'm not throwing things at you." They argued for a while, but they were both so weary that they closed their eyes again. Then the tailor picked the biggest stone out of his pocket and threw it with all his might onto the first giant's chest. "Now you are for it." The first giant bellowed. He sprang up and punched his friend on the nose. The other hit him straight back, and so it went on. until at last they both fell down dead. Then the little tailor leaped down from the tree and hurried back to tell the king the good news is done, he announced. Now where is my reward? So the king, whether he liked it or not, had to keep his promise. And that is how our cheeky little tailor married a princess, won half a kingdom, and became a king, all through sweating flies.